Hey guys, this is Joel from DriveX. We're gonna go over our pre-trip inspection today. What to look for, leaks, checking your oil and transmission fluid. Key points is if it's below this line right here. So if your coolant is low, you're gonna wanna fill it to the fill line level. Same thing with this. If the cap's missing, you're gonna absorb moisture into the brake fluid, which is in turn gonna cause brake failure, leaks and all sorts of other issues, corrosion. So you wanna make sure this cap is on and the brake fluid is actually full to the high line right here on the side of this. We also want to check our power steering fluid and make sure it's full to the max line. That'll ensure that your power steering works properly and you don't burn out your power steering pump. The next thing we want to check is our radiator hose and radiator. If you see any wet spots coming around the heater like this, that usually indicates that you have a radiator leak and you need to notify a manager immediately. We also want to check our heater core lines. They run all the way over to the passenger side of the vehicle where the heater core is, and that allows you to get hot air in your vehicle. If these lines are leaking or you have leaks out of the fittings, you need to notify a manager immediately. As well as checking your power steering cooler and lines as well. These lines run back over to the power steering pump, and if you see any leaks on the frame or out of the lines, notify a manager as well. While doing the inspection on your power steering cooler, we want to look at the transmission cooler lines and cooler to make sure there's no leaks coming from it anywhere. If there is, same situation. We want to reach out to a manager and notify them that we have a serious leak somewhere. This can cause major transmission failures and a lot of other issues. A good visual inspection of your battery is to check for corrosions on the terminals and look and see if the battery is leaking. This is an obvious indication of a bad battery and we need to replace it as soon as possible. Corrosion in these cables will cause electrical failure inside of the vehicle, which will cause it not to start or a parasitic draw, causing the vehicle not to run. On Utilimasters, we also want to check this filter right here. This is the AC cabin filter. We want to make sure it's clear and not like this because you won't get proper airflow inside of the vehicle. When doing a tire inspection, you want to check the wear bar marks. If the tire is down to the wear bar marks, you need to replace it. As well as feathering of the tire. Usually feathering is caused from poor alignment or bad ball joints. After looking at your tire, you want to give a good look and see your rotor on the inside. If you can see abnormal wear and tear on the rotor, you want to notify your manager and have that put on the schedule to get fixed. Giving a good visual inspection to see if the vehicle is leaning to one side or the other usually indicates that there's been a suspension failure somewhere. Could be a shackle broken or broken leaf springs, which can cause damage to the rear differential. If that damage is caused, it costs a lot of money to fix and a lot of time to do the repair. So always get a good visual inspection if the vehicle's leaning to one side or the other. Mirrors are a big part of safety. We want to make sure we check our mirrors if they're damaged or cracked. If they are damaged or cracked, they need to be replaced. A big part of your pre-trip inspection is checking all of your perimeter lights around the vehicle and your headlights, tail lights, turn signals as well. Making sure they're all properly functioning before you get on the road for safety purposes. Always check your lights before you leave. Another main thing to check is your door hinges. Making sure your door hinges are operating properly when the door is opening. They're not stuck or jammed, because it can cause the hinges to break or break the body metal vehicle. As well as not having vice grips for a door handle. We can properly replace the door handle with the right one so it doesn't damage the pin. If your floors are lift or raising, you want to notify us immediately just because of safety purposes so you don't trip or fall or it doesn't cause damage to your carts or anything else. Usually when your floors are starting to lift, it'll cause frame damage underneath the vehicle as well. You also want to check your vehicle when it starts that it properly shifts into gear before leaving. If you know it properly shifts into gear, everything's all right. A clear indication of a check engine light is a damaged part inside of the engine or the fuel system. This is another case of where you need to notify a manager. So we could pull the codes and identify the problem with the vehicle. Thank you for watching this video about our pre-trip inspections. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your manager or DriveX at any time.